Autofanatic. So I'm going to be shooting a video today, and I'm going to show you guys how to properly do the vinyl inlaid letters on a Shelby GT350 and 350R front lower spoiler. This was one of my very first videos on the Autofanatic channel 2 years ago, and of course the channel was new. I only had a few hundred subscribers, so I feel that being that I just got my new car, why not shoot the same process again? I'm going to show you guys the same step-by-step process. If you follow my instructions, this is going to last you for years. I have been putting these letters on the front lips of the Shelbys since 2016, before I started YouTube, and year after year, customers and my friends and myself pressure wash the area, and not once have had anything fail because of the proper prep and the proper application that I'm going to show you today. So very simple. I'm going to show you everything step by step. I'm going to break it up, and then I'll show you guys the final results. And like I said, being that it was one of my very first videos, I think now that the channel has grown and the audience has grown, maybe it'll go out to a broader audience now. Maybe there's more people that are taking deliveries of these cars and they want to do this little final touch. I feel that without doing this, I'm going to be doing white to match the white stripes. You could do red, you could do any color you want. I buy the letters, you can see them right here. These are sold by a couple of sellers on eBay, so that's the source. So if anybody's looking for them, go on eBay. I am not familiar if any of the Mustang parts sources like American Muscle or CJ's Ponies Parts sell these. I don't really think they do. So just search on eBay, and also there are some Amazon listings on, to some of the sellers. They charge you a little bit more on Amazon, but if you want them in a pinch and you're willing to pay a few bucks more, I'll put a link to the Amazon letters as well, and you can select your color and get it in Amazon Prime. So let's get a close-up shot, and I'll show you guys exactly what we're going to do start to finish. So the first step you're going to want to do is you have to properly prep and clean the plastic. So in my very first video, when I did this, I just used an IPA solution. But today we're just going to be using the Gion Prep. I actually like this stuff a lot, and I use it a lot. So we're going to just go through the bumper. You're going to want to saturate it very well. And I'm using a lint-free heavy-duty shop towel. So you want to clean the area. If there's any kind of residue or grease or even residues left behind by soaps and polishes and detail sprays, that will cause an issue with the adhesion. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure this is properly prepped and ensure proper adhesion promotion. So that's just a quick wipe. Now we're going to go over that, and I'm going to take some foam swabs. You could also use a Q-tip. We're going to spray the swab down, and we're just going to go in there, and this is going to give you a nice thorough clean in between all the letters. Because if you don't do this, it's going to come off in the rain, it's going to come off in temperature changes, and especially if you blast it 4 to 5 times a week like I do with pressure washers, it's going to come off. So prep is the key to anything. So that's why I want to show this again on my channel. So that's that. So I'm going to grab my compressed air, we're going to blow dry this, and we're going to heat it up, and we're going to go to the next step. Okay. So being that it's a little cold out, I also recommend this step too. Take your heat gun, and this is just going to make sure that any condensation left behind is going to evaporate. It's also going to warm up the plastic a little bit too for the 3M94 primer. So 3M94 primer, this is a must-have whenever you're doing difficult vinyl applications, or you're applying any kind of 3M VHB tape anywhere on the body of the car, whether you're doing a trunk spoiler, a spoiler lip, side sills, anything that's going to bond to the car. Properly prep it and use a 3M94 primer. I highly suggest you pick up a Canadus. It doesn't really have much of a shelf life that I know of, but I tend to come to it very often whenever I'm doing any kind of projects like this. So we're going to be using Easy Dabbers. These are used for paint touch-up, and we're going to dip it in there, and then we're going to go carefully, and we're going to coat the entire recessed area with the 3M94 primer, just like I'm showing you here. And this is going to ensure that when the vinyl lays in there and we heat set it and we position it, it's going to form a very permanent and resilient bond. I mean, the installation start to finish, once you're all set up, should be about 30 minutes. And of course the video is going to be condensed. But like I said, this was one of my very first videos, and I think it makes sense to show it again because there's probably going to be people that are going to want to see it, and YouTube will probably start suggesting the video a little bit more now that the channel has actually grown since inception 2 years ago. So why not? I'm already going to do the process anyway. Might as well just show it. Now we're going to grab the heat gun and we're going to go over it. We're going to kind of heat set that and make sure it's cured. Okay, so to align and position the letters, I just have a small bottle with an autofanatic trigger sprayer and some deionized water. This is not tap water. This is distilled water from a gallon that I buy. It just seems to work better. Some guys put some baby shampoo in here. I don't really want any shampoo to cause any issues with the adhesion, so I like to just use straight water. Also, I have a nylon pick tool here, and I use the tip to kind of position and set the letters into the recess. These are great to have. You might be able to find something like this online. And I also have a X-Acto blade where we're going to get the letters off the transfer sheet and we're going to get it onto the surface. So we're going to start with the S. You're going to want to liberally spray the recess down. We're just going to take this, and you got to be careful. These are very, very fragile. So you're going to be very, very careful with them. And the adhesive on the vinyl is not that strong for you to hold it, but once you heat set it, it becomes stronger. Okay, so we got that in there. You're going to just want to use your fingers best you can, and if you start to feel it tacking up, just add some more water. This to position it. This is definitely a test of patience to do these. Okay, so I could tell already that this one is not perfectly cut from the plotter. So if you get any issues with positioning, just do it now while it's still wet. And this is where it becomes tedious. It's a simple job, just it becomes tedious. So we're going to try to set it back a little bit further. Okay, that's better. And we used a knife to kind of lift it into position like that. And that's pretty much set exactly where it needs to be. We're going to use some compressed air again. Grab the heat gun. And then I'm going to be using the tip of this nylon tool to kind of get some of that water out from under there. Use your finger as well. You can see that's where all the water is coming out. So start at the top and then work your way around. If you get any trapped pockets, just carefully that drops in there easy. The H, I think the H and the Y is probably the two easiest letters out of the bunch. So the way I'm going to do this one, see, gravity is not your friend here because as you spray the water, alright, hold on. start on this end. Just like that. Perfect. So on the E, start on the thicker side, and then the 3 legs will pretty much fall right into position. Let's get the air gun. You can see as I squeeze it, the water is coming out from underneath the vinyl decal right on the edge of the plastic, and that's what we want. Nice even pressure. And you could feel it as you rub your finger across of it, that if it wasn't bonded on, it would start to shift. But that's why you got to use the heat and heat set it. So it's a relatively simple process. And like I said, I feel that the front end of this car is naked without it, regardless of what color you decide to do, but I think it just adds a little detail. Now the B usually drops in there nice and easy. The ones you got to be careful with is the S and the E. There we go. Perfecto. There we go. Alright, that's it guys. So let me get the camera and I'll show you the finished results. So that's it guys. That's the finished install of the Shelby GT350 front spoiler letters. You guys can see there. It definitely looks good. It gives a nice little detail. Makes the car feel a little less naked up front. I hope you guys got some tips and tricks on how to do this. I will put all description of all the materials that I used in the description of this video. If you guys have any questions, you guys could always reach out to me, talk cars, ask questions. If you have an installation issue doing this whatsoever, I'll help you out whenever I can, and you can see it there. So it definitely dresses up the car, gives a nice little detail, and it's definitely worth the 20 bucks for the lettering. And like I said, the number one thing you got to buy and keep in your toolbox is this. Get a can of 3M 94 primer, and one of the best IPA prep solutions is this. This is one of my number one solutions that I discovered a little over a year ago, and this is my go-to. I buy this by the gallon and I refill these little bottles, and I pretty much use this stuff for everything. So hope you guys like this video. This is a retake of one of my very first videos on the AutoFanatic YouTube channel. Any questions, comments, posted below. Please subscribe to the channel, please like, and set your notifications for the next AutoFanatic video, and stay tuned for more GT350R content, and I'll see you guys on the next video soon.